Okay, I think we are live. Um, um, Welcome everybody. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's fun to just kind of dive in. We have a lot more to cover when we only do one live Q&A a month. And if you got my email, you already know we only have one live again next month with our April calendar, which we will be going over today. So I want to dive right in and start with a little bit of a recap talking about the last video about Hematite Genuine, which was just a ton of fun. I was getting some feedback that a lot of you appreciated how I was struggling with that painting and it wasn't kind of matching the vision I had had for it. And then going through the process of navigating that and working around that and still producing a really beautiful painting at the end, even though it didn't quite match exactly with my vision. And that actually happens quite a bit. Even you've seen other paintings that I've done where I plan it out and I plan my colors and I end up using different colors. And I always end up using different techniques and incorporating different things as we go. So I hope that was helpful for you to hear that, me think through the challenges that I experienced in that painting. I thought, well, that's kind of neat. I think I would appreciate it if other artists did that. And I was able to witness their thinking through a challenge. So hopefully, I'm sure I will run into more challenges as we go along and share how I navigate those with you on my YouTube videos. Talking about Hematite Genuine, I had somebody ask me, what are some substitutes for Hematite Genuine? And there are some answers, some suggestions in the comments of that video, the beta fish video. But you could always add granulation medium to your watercolors. It's like a separate jar of solution that you could mix with your existing colors to help them granulate. You could also just invest in more textured paper like cold press or rough. Granulation will be harder to see on hot press paper or smoother papers, but you can still see it. It's just more pronounced on cold press and rough papers. If you're looking for like a specific black color substitute, you can see here Daniel Smith. So this is Sodalite Genuine. And that even goes into another question that I was asked is about Daniel Smith Primatech colors. So I looked it up. I wasn't very familiar with these. They're made out of minerals. So the question that this particular student was asking me is like, do they have any pigments added to them? Or is it literally just minerals? And from my research, looking at the Daniel Smith website, and I actually had more luck looking at an art supply store, Jerry's Artorama, where they break down the information of each color. So you can see here, it says pigment amethyst. And if you compare that with a non-Primatech color, Azilarian crimson, the pigment is actually a pigment and not the actual mineral. So from my research, I'm assuming that that's hopefully the case across the board with all their Primatech colors, that these Primatech colors are literally just minerals and not pigments. And you can see some of them granulate more than others. This is, how beautiful is this? These colors are so, so beautiful. So as we go ahead and send me your questions, but I'm going to keep going down my list. I have a lot of stuff to cover today. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I encourage you just to look around and see what's out there. Some of these even look like they have a bit of a shine to them. Super fun. So that was one of my questions that I wanted to make sure I addressed. The other thing is I had a lot of fun painting that beta fish, and it was just a photo that somebody had sent me saying, hey, if you want to paint this, you can. And I thought, I want to. That'd be fun. So I am going to put a form on my website allowing you to share your photos with me, and maybe I'll paint them. So I cannot guarantee that I'll paint them, but it's kind of a fun way for me to get access to your photos, and maybe you can see me paint your photo. And then I will have the original for sale on my website, but nobody has to buy it. Or you can buy it, or somebody else can buy it, or nobody buys it. Doesn't matter. But it'd be fun to have a YouTube video walking you through how I would paint your painting, your photo. So right now I don't have that form set up, so if you do have a photo you would want me to see in case I would like to paint it, you can just email me that photo, aquilawatercolor@gmail.com. But I will, of course, announce in an email when that form is ready on my website. But again, I can't guarantee that I would paint your painting, but I know there's going to be so many of you who have some really cool photos that I think our whole community of artists would love to see. Especially if it's like a reptile or a bird or a fish or something more universal. I'd like to do a lot more of those moving forward. So email me those and I will, of course, let you know if I am going to paint them. So then the next thing I wanted to kind of go over is just a couple questions I had. So we talked about the Prematex, we talked about Hematite Genuine. I did have a couple of questions just saying, hey, when do you use your filbert grainer and when do you use your flat grainer? And I kind of do like the filbert shape more than the flat shape because I'm typically using this for hair, right? It just makes sense that you would have a little bit more kind of organic hair patterns than like geometric hair patterns that a flat brush would typically give you. But honestly, I think size is even more important. So I'll just typically use this one for smaller areas of hair just because it's smaller, and this one for larger, again, just because it's larger. But this one is kind of fun too to do kind of like paint using the side of the brush instead of just like the wide side, kind of the skinny side. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. So if I was starting over, I think it's just nice to have a couple different sizes, but I do slightly prefer the filbert shape over the flat shape. But it's kind of preference, and you get to know what you like as you paint. And then, let's see, I had the rest of my questions we'll talk about with the rescue guide, but I just wanted to share with you too, because I know some of you, and I know I have, had trouble finding quinacridone gold, the paint color in any brand. For some reason, it's hard to find right now. So I wanted to show you my cool little swatches that I quick mixed up. So you can see right here is just plain quinacridone gold. And then this is the same quinacridone gold that I mixed with some azo yellow to make it a little brighter. So I was going through, what am I going to substitute for this? And my first choice was actually transparent red oxide, but it was out of stock. So I looked, and transparent brown oxide is the same pigment code. So I'm not sure how they get away with that or what they do or how they're actually different. But I got transparent brown oxide, mixed that with azo yellow, and as you can see, boy, these are very, I can't do it backwards. These are very similar, aren't they? They're almost like right on the money when you mix the azo yellow with the transparent brown oxide. So that's what I'm planning to use right now, at least, until I can get more quinacridone gold. Seems to work. So it's kind of fun that you have access to those pigment codes, and I would especially look at swatches when you're trying to decide what colors to get. A lot of times they'll have these swatches. That's what I would look at, because otherwise if you just look at like these pretty little thumbnails, you can't really see what the color actually looks like. And it's still hard to do on a screen. So in a perfect world, you would even get like Daniel Smith dot cards. Those are a really nice resource. I love that Daniel Smith does that. Not every paint manufacturer offers those dot cards to actually sample like what they look like once you put them on your specific paper that you paint with. So dot cards are a great way to start out too if you're looking for a few different colors to try. Let's see. So then the rest of my questions that I wanted to go over today are in our specific kind of common challenges that a lot of watercolor artists face. And I thought, okay, I need to put this in my rescue guide. So I did. So in the email that you got this morning, I have updated information on page 4 talking about these 3 specific challenges. So I have my best tips in here. I didn't like gatekeep or keep anything out. Honestly, this is exactly what I would tell any of my students if they were running into these issues. So I encourage you, if you struggle with, having too tight paintings, understanding where you need to put color, or if you're trying to start incorporating color, how to go about that, and even understanding what elements you should trace when you're trying to trace your reference photo. I put my best tips, exactly what I do, right on page 4 in that PDF, and that's available to you. So I would take advantage of that. And of course, in this rescue guide, there's all the other common problems and solutions that you could very much, and I do, run into. So definitely keep that in mind. Let's see. So June says that the Primatech colors are awesome. Just looking at them, like, how gorgeous is this? And if I loved Hematite Genuine as much as I did, and I did, I thought, man, I got to get some of these granulating ones. It's just, I love granulating colors. So I'm excited. And then some of you are talking about some substitutes that you found for quinacridone gold. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that information. That's super great. So M. Graham, oh my gosh, I love M. Graham. I might end up doing that. The other thing that I'm trying to figure out too is just if Cheap Joe's, because we know that Cheap Joe's is closing down, if I think they're going to continue their American Journey brand, but if for some reason they don't, trying to find like a different one for my supply list, since I share that supply list with everybody, making something that's a little bit more accessible for all my students that I recommend. But I've talked about that a million times in the past. So let's see. I wanted to kind of quickly, why don't we do our fun surprise giveaway winner, and then we'll go over the calendar. And that's kind of all I actually have for today. So that's kind of nice. All right, so I already have my supplies ready because I'm shipping out some other stuff today. So this will be, this month, the winner will get an empty palette. I usually fill this with color, but again, I'm just kind of in this weird place of like, what brand should I use? So I'm leaving it empty, but it's my favorite palette. I love this palette. Kneaded eraser, and then the real gem of this supply surprise is a silver black velvet size 6 round brush. That was hard to part with. I already have one. I'm good. But it's fun. It's just too much fun. I'm still buying all the supplies that I've been giving away lately, like the Tuba Hematite Genuine and every month supply surprise. But I'm starting to get brands offering to give me supplies. So down the line, I'll be giving away other stuff too. But I'm only working with cool brands that I really like, or that are kind of American brands and not always just overseas manufacturing brands. Anyway, we'll get back to that. I had about 7 on Facebook and Instagram, and then I had 43 submitted to my website. So that's 50. So what we can do is, I kind of like doing this live so you guys can see me pick the winner. So 1 out of 50. So I'm choosing the winner. If you're kind of new here, I'm choosing the winner out of everybody that either shared a finished photo of their art they painted from one of my YouTube tutorials on Facebook or Instagram, or they shared it with me on my website. So 5. So that puts us at 1, 2, I have it written down. I can show you this too. So number 5 is, I have it written down. So I'm going to start at the top. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the Blue Brickish on Instagram. So I wrote it down yesterday, went through and kind of went and captured everything I saw on Facebook and Instagram. So I will reach out to this person actually on Instagram, since that's where you shared it with me, to make sure you get your giveaway, your surprise, which they're not a surprise because I just shared them with all of you, your supplies for March. It's been so fun. It's been so fun to ship out watercolor supplies because is there anything better to get in the mail? Maybe chocolate. But I would like to. It's fun. It's so fun to get watercolor supplies in the mail. So it's a lot of fun for me to actually ship them out. So congratulations to the Blue Brickish is the handle name, and I will reach out to you on Instagram to make sure you get your stuff. Otherwise, if you happen to be watching, you can always email me at aquilawatercolor@gmail.com. So this giveaway is a little different than the other giveaways I typically do on YouTube, where I just say leave a comment and we'll do it live within the video. So I have a couple different, and then even on the Hematite Genuine video, I opened the giveaway for 24 hours. So I've just been kind of doing fun different ways to do little giveaways. It's been really fun. And I think I'm going to probably keep doing that 24-hour comment giveaway on my subsequent videos coming up in April, because that seemed to be really fun. And it helps me too, because the more comments and things that get up on my videos on YouTube in that first 24 hours, the better my video does in terms of people being able to see it and YouTube suggesting it to people. So it just helps everybody out because more people get to see what I'm putting on YouTube. It's awesome. So it'd be fun to see the winner's artwork too. Yeah, that would be fun. I'm trying to think how I could do that. You know what I could do is I could put it on my Instagram as a story today. So I will go ahead and put that on there. I'll take a screenshot and share it to my story. That's a really good idea. I like that. Because we've been seeing some really cool artwork. I've just been impressed at the level of technical ability that I've seen all of you achieve lately. So now I have I'm sorry, I just feel like I'm so burpy today. I get burpy when I'm nervous, but it's funny because I don't feel nervous. I think you always just have to be a little bit, you feel like it's a thing. You had to use all your brain power for these videos. But really, we're all just chilling. I like to pretend that my mom's on the other side of the live. And then I'm like, oh, that's no problem. It's just me and my mom hanging out. Anyway, we have our April calendar. So you can see I have a big break of videos. I am moving to a new house that weekend. So the weekend of the 11th and 12th. So I'm just giving myself some time for that big transition to really enjoy it because we're planning to be at this house for a very, very long time. It's really fun. Super excited. We're very excited about the house. So we have some fun videos coming up, and then we have our live, and I'm leaning into different supplies and different techniques. So the thing about this calendar is it's going to be kind of fluid. It might change. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully I'll give you some warning. Hopefully it'll just be like this, but I don't know. I might change this one into a full paint along instead of just a little snippet. Because right now these are not paint alongs, these dogs. They're just, what I'm going to do is show you a part of that painting. So for this dog, I'd show you where I lift. And for this one, I'm showing you how I masked it. And this one, I'm going to show you the color resist that I do in the ears. And then this one, I'm going to show you how I use neutral tint in the painting. And I'm just doing that because I'm feeling like YouTube is a better avenue for those shorter kind of videos that help people in a quicker kind of way. But I also know that the paint-alongs are really nice for my core group of students. So I've just been doing a lot of thinking and planning because I know in the future I was planning. So if you get my emails, I was planning to open a membership beginning of May. And I've decided to wait on that. And I think what I would rather do is just keep putting everything on YouTube for now. But when I do finally open that membership option, I have some really good plans for it. And I think you all are actually going to really appreciate it. And it's going to offer a lot of things that I just can't do on YouTube right now. But when I do open that, it'll have a lot more full paint-alongs. Because it's just a lot for me to do like a full, especially those big dog ones. But I don't want to stop doing them. So anyway, it's a very roundabout thinking about all these more businessy aspects of watercolor teaching in the future. But so far, so I'm not going to open my membership in May. I'm going to wait. It's just a busy time for me, and I want to do it right, and I want to make sure that I have the bandwidth to really serve the students that sign up for that membership, especially with the community piece of it, and be really active in there and really helpful for everybody who actually invests in a membership. And I'm just not sure I'm able to do that yet. So I'm just going to wait on that. It'll come someday. I'm not sure when. So in the meantime, you can find me here on YouTube and of course on email and social. And I do still have some of those power hours left on my website. So if you do want some one-on-one watercolor workshop time with just me, those are really fun. And you can get those on my website. So I hope that is helpful. And yeah, I'll of course keep you updated if I update that calendar. But it's going to be a really lot of fun. I always have a fish. I want to do more than just dogs too. I'm kind of doing some dogs because I just have so many commissions right now. But it'll be fun to do more like universal animals like snakes or lizards or birds or fish or even, safari animals or jungle animals. And that's, I think, too, where having you submit your own photos to share with me, to share with the artists on YouTube, could be a lot of fun. I'll let you know when we do that. But I know a lot of you love the paint-alongs. So like I said, I might switch some of these to be full paint-alongs. We'll see. I just got to catch up. I got to catch up on my commissions and stuff too. But it's going to be, I want to do, if I do more full paint-alongs, I think I want to do more universal animals, like those jungle animals or reptiles or birds. I think that could be a lot of fun, just to get a little bit of a separation from dogs. And when I can get back to doing 3 full videos a week, we can incorporate more of those. And as I see your photos that you submit to me too, which is really fun. Thank you. I'm glad you had a lot of fun. I still have to get back to you with more information, a follow-up about that power hour. So that was really fun. It was really fun. And I was thinking about you with this person who just commented about doing the power hour with me. This dog is just like the dog you're painting on the 24th. So that's going to be a lot of fun for you to see how I approach that. Because it's just like the one you're trying to paint that you already have painted. And I'm wondering if you've painted it again. It'd be really fun. Okay, I have gone through my whole list. That went a lot faster than I thought. So to yes, the dash hound, yes. So gosh, that'd be fun. I probably should just switch that to a full paint along. It'd be really fun. So I don't see any more big questions on here. Of course, if you have any, I can stay on and we can keep talking watercolor. I don't really have a demo today because I just kind of went over, I had everything kind of more screenshot planned, talking about the questions that I got in March. But of course, email me your questions, keep submitting your art, send me your photos, and we will keep painting in April. Definitely not going anywhere, even though I'm taking a little bit of a break to move. It's going to be a lot of fun. You did paint it again, but you're not happy with it. Okay, well, we'll talk. We'll get there. I know the feeling of being frustrated with a painting too, but we're going to get there. It'll be fun. And burnt sienna, when I started painting, I used a lot of those really common colors like burnt sienna, raw sienna, burnt umber, raw umber, those typical, very common brown colors. So I'm trying to think. I haven't used those in a really long time just because I switched up. Once I found the quinacridone colors, I kind of revamped my palette a little bit. So I just haven't tried those in a long time, but I know a lot of people love them. So like I said, if you're trying to get, a substitute or trying to figure out what colors you want to use and you have a specific pigment that you really like, you could start with that. But yeah, there's a lot of fun things. You really can't go wrong. And I'll test out more colors. I think it's fun to test out even single colors in an entire YouTube video. You can learn a lot, which is really fun. All right. So Yeah, it could work instead of quinacridone gold. On wild animals, I know how fun. It's just fun. And Yupo, I haven't even touched Yupo, but I want to do like entire series as part of my membership. So kind of like how we did the Paint 333 beginner program on YouTube, I want to have programs in my membership that members can access. So I'm planning to do like a Yupo course and like a birds course, so subject-based courses and even supply or technique-based courses, and then have parts of those videos on YouTube as well. But I don't have that available yet. We're all just going to be on YouTube for a long time here, hanging out together. I'll still do paint-alongs and all these fun things that we have. So, all right, other animals, I know. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to do other animals and stuff. Okay, I think that's all we have. That's all I can kind of see. I'm running through the chat. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you find time to paint. It's just, I've just been loving it. I have not tried the quinacridone gold sticks, but I heard people who try the sticks, the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks, really love them. And they travel really well. So how fun is that? I should try that. Oh, we have somebody asking what is Yupo, and Yupo is paper, but it's synthetic. So I think it's actually made of like some kind of poly plastic. So the paint does not absorb. It just kind of sits on the surface and makes really cool patterns. So almost if you think about how paint dries in these cool patterns, even on your palette, that's the best way I have to describe it without showing you an actual Yupo painting, is that it kind of dries like this in really cool watery patterns on Yupo. But there can be challenges with, how to preserve it and protect it and different ways and techniques to make the watercolors work for you and not against you on Yupo. But I feel like it's more forgiving because you can typically lift off the color very easily on Yupo paper. Very cool look. I will definitely do a Yupo video. If not adding one in April, I'll make sure to add one in May because it's a lot of fun. People love it. I have used mineral paper. I think you're talking about like the Terra, kind of the clay rock paper. That's similar to Yupo. I feel like it's a little bit more absorbent. It actually does absorb some compared to Yupo paper. I've used it. I like it. I kind of like Yupo better because it's just so night and day between like Yupo paper and the traditional watercolor paper. It's so fun. I should show you. I think I actually have some on my website under my portfolio. I have my Yupo paintings on there so you can see kind of what they look like. So I think that's a good way. We'll wrap it up, and thank you so much. I'm very excited about my new house. I will definitely set up my new studio and share what that looks like. It's going to be a little smaller, but that's okay. And yes, a lot of people use Yupo with alcohol ink. And that's a whole nother thing. I've never even tried alcohol ink, but I'm so biased towards watercolor. And I just want to get better and better at watercolor. I don't want to get too distracted. But there's a lot of fun ways to use Yupo paper with all different kinds of mediums. A lot of artists do that. So I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you for showing up with me again today. I will have another video for you all. We don't have a video this weekend, but we do on Tuesday with a technique video about lifting. But we'll stay in touch in the meantime via email and social, and I will see you next time. So thank you all so much. Happy painting.